Front-End Authority is an online community that promotes the ongoing education of front-end technologies.
All right. I'm not too bad myself. So let's get talking about, it's really a thought exercise more than anything, how to gamify your website, the mCommerce guide, because in today's world, you'll see that things are moving quite fast in the mobile world. So why am I talking, right? Why is this guy here? Okay, so I'm the lead UX UI designer at a company called HeroX.com. I'm the former UX UI designer at Applique.com, which was a fashion e-commerce company. Both of these websites used two-sided marketplace, and so that's what I'll be referencing throughout the talk. Okay, so I was a past front-end developer myself, so able to relate with you guys to some extent. But you guys are doing a lot more advanced work because I'm just a designer. But I just hope we can leave all our preconceived notions about gamifying and gamification at the door for the presentation, and then we can get into some heated debate after the presentation. All right? Okay, so, but I'm very passionate about the collaboration and facilitating the collaboration between marketers, developers, and designers. So let's get talking about what we're about to cover. So we're really just going to cover how to reference games to inspire your websites that you develop. And I just love this quote from Picasso. You can read it for yourself, but it's good artists copy, great artists steal. And today we're going to be good artists, okay? We're going to be good artists. All right. So how this will benefit you, basically, you're going to go from being a developer at a company or a side project that's an order taker to one that's a leadership role by using this gaming strategy that we're about to go through. So let's get started. Let's talk about multiplayer, because this is the first decision in Super Mario Brothers, right? One player or two player? Is your brother home? Is your sister home, right? This is often the first question you want your users to ask themselves when they visit your website too, okay? You want them to refer people. Why? This is growth hacking. You don't wait until after they've bought your product in order for you to, and I know we all do it. You could think of 1,000 websites in your head where after you buy the product, they email you or there's a thank you page that's like, hey, share it with your friend. Well, that's too late, man. I went through your whole process. Do it early on in the beginning, okay? And have a landing page, put your share button on there, have a blog post, put your share button at the top, have them invite friends early on in the onboarding stage. Make it worth inviting, in other words. So, and make it fun. That's multiplayer. Next, we'll talk about role-playing, okay? Switch roles. Think of a boring website, like a lawyer website or a doctor website. These can be fun. Don't think about it as a one-way street. It's not you're the admin and you have all these followers just purchase your services and your product from you. Don't think of it like that. Think of handing over the reins to them. Give them the access to be the admin. What does that do? What ideas did that bring to mind? Give them some power, and then they'll have followers. Then you have these little nodes, right? You get it? It's a front-end development joke, nodes, okay. All right, no. Okay, sorry, I used it wrong, right? Out of context. So back on point here. They'll have their own followings, right? They'll be able to market to their friends and family, and then you'll see your business grow and inflate. That's really important for growth hacking, okay? So just think about that. Every time a new project, what if they were admin? I know can't give all the reins to them, but you can give some. It creates a two-sided marketplace, and it's your own microeconomy. Now, we have some great references out in the real world that aren't games necessarily, but games are a lot more fun, right? Make the roles, instead of it being like admin and customer, make it about a hero and a damsel in distress. Make it fun. Don't hesitate, okay? So some good examples right now, and they don't do it exactly to the extent I'm telling you to do it, but Airbnb, for example. Can you be a host? Can you be a tenant? Yeah, you can be both. Uber, you can be a driver. You can be a passenger, okay? There's people already doing this, guys. I'm just trying to help you just come up with the idea. Epiphany, okay? All right, so let's talk about settings. Remember me, okay? Remember me. When I come back to your website, remember me. Allow me to personalize the website and make it my own. Let's flip back a few. Look at the top left, Mario. Top left, Mario. On your websites, it says your logo. It's not the user's website. It's your website. They want to make it their own. Personalization. Okay? Think about it. Character creation is very popular in games like NBA Live, or this one we're referencing here. Customizing it like yourself. Okay? We go through this all the time. If you filter when you're shopping, if you're searching, if you're setting up your profile avatar, these are opportunities. It's onboarding, right? These are opportunities that let the person customize the website and cater it to yourself. So personalize that user experience, baby. All right, so let's talk about levels and leveling up, okay? Sprinkle encouragement. Just like the coins throughout Mario's run, he's always incentivized to go forward, okay? And at the end, it's fireworks, man. God, thank you. You've made it. But more importantly, to really make this work for your business, you got to bottleneck and constrain these, okay? You have to come up with the stage gates. Like, where's the line? We got to draw a line. Let's have them buy the first product. That's cool. You can buy any first product you want. But you have to share with 30 friends before you can buy the next one. Just whatever it is, think about it. Brainstorm it. Put it on a board. Think about ways you could bottleneck the experience so you can get them to refer or buy a new product. That's really the point of leveling up. There's a line in the sand. Once you meet that, it's the next level, okay? So congratulations, you made it. But before we get there, you got to refer some friends or you got to buy something. Level up, okay? So the next one is action. And now I'll just squash what I just said, right? Action is like call to action. And the reason I have a Game Boy here is because it's like one of the easiest calls to action. You turn it on and you push start to play. There's a start button right there. You push it to play. Websites are no different. On the home page, get started. It's that simple. Just get started. Get them to the next page. Get them to the next stage. Get started. It's that easy. And it's just as easy on the Game Boy to pause. You push start again. On and off. It's that simple. Websites should be that simple too. It should be just as easy to get started as it is to log out. Make it easy, okay? Don't get in their way. And use less frictional calls to action. And I know we've all seen this, like, buy now, and you got the arrow pointing. Hey, come on, come on. It's unnecessary. First of all, it's confrontational, right? You're making them take a big gulp. Am I going to do this? No, I'm going to leave, okay? Use something less confrontational, less frictional, like next or continue. And you'll see websites doing this out in the real world today, but I'm just bringing it to our awareness now. All right, interactions and animations, some of which Walker just talked on in his Vue.js speech, right? So the animations are simple. They're just CSS animations. And you can use some JavaScript too, but CSS is a little lighter weight. But when the user finally engages with your website, whether it's a hover or a click or a swipe, whatever it may be, make it worth their while. Use some of those animations. Don't let them sit there in a folder. Use them. So I'm just recommending this to you because you can take those little animations and really take the brand. Like, let's say your brand mascot is an owl. When they click the follow button on your web page, have it be an egg. And so when they click the egg, it cracks open and a baby owl's born. Something, just make it more worth their while to engage with your site. And they'll love you. And they'll love it, your product, okay? That's what interactions and animations, that's the power of them. Okay, so let's do it. And you guys all have a great example with Google Material Design. They design the hovers, they design the clicks, and they use those animations even when you scroll. Every interaction, they make it worth your while. Okay, Arcade, all right? Arcade is like onboarding 1.0, guys. You put the quarter in, they made you pay first. Can you think of a website that makes you pay first today? Bitcoin? That's pretty good. Okay, so thank you. So so let's use Arcade as an example here for onboarding, all right? They'd let you use their whole product in the beginning before they have you submit a username. That's not till the end. And then they put it on the scoreboard. Websites are no different. Let's say you had a t-shirt website. You're designing your own t-shirts, okay? Let them design the t-shirt first. They upload it, everything looks good, they pick the color, it all looks good, and then they go continue, right? They go next, non-frictional call to action. And then you say, set up your username. Great. Then you put their username on the scoreboard. You've sold 0. Thompson sold 34. Now you're on a scoreboard, which brings me to my next point. Scoreboard. Applique.com, which is a fashion e-commerce company, we did what I previously said. We gave the users admin. We gave them admin. We redesigned it and gave them the power to design their own t-shirts and market it to their followers and friends. And we did that with a scoreboard. So we had them compete to see who could sell the most. And what did that do? It inflated competition. And they began to even talk amongst each other. So use a scoreboard and have them sign up after they've engaged with your site. Don't be like, you got to sign up first, people. You got to sign up first. I don't know what we're going to get into. So make sure you just think of arcade. And you can look at your own ideas out in the game industry world yourself. So this brings me to my next point, tips and tricks. Okay, everybody knows there's in the footer of your website a blog link, an FAQ link, or a press release link or news link. Okay, and these are often forgotten, guys. And what you'll find on your blog reel is maybe some like, I don't know, social media post or something. Maybe just, it's not really maintained. But this is content strategy we're just letting go to waste. And it's a really simple content strategy. If you look at the gaming industry, we have a perfect example, right? Tips and tricks, cheat codes. The users want to know how they can manipulate your system. They want to know how they can get ahead. Okay? And so if you have this, it's not just a FAQ. You shouldn't need FAQs. You should have a tips and tricks, a cheat code blog. And they go there and they're like, how to make money on your website. Oh, this is great. I can really manipulate it to make it work for me. Now they've been indoctrinating themselves, not as a new customer, but as a returning customer. And they're going to use their platform more and more and more and cultivate an audience. And people are going to ask them questions. They're going to become an expert. So that's really, and that's why I have this cheat codes picture up here. It's like, oh, dude, we could totally manipulate the game. Brings me to my next point, loading. We all know it. Don't make users wait, right? Don't make them wait. It hurts. But there's some points where you have to. I remember when I first started Applique, they had the customizer. Every click, you had to wait and load. It would be loading patterns, 1,000 colors. Every click, you pick a color, you have to wait. You pick a pattern, you have to wait. And we went in and we front-loaded it immediately, okay? You front-load it immediately, and then throughout the experience, it's unobtrusive. You can click around, explore, and find new experiences you never knew you could have before. So get that out of the way. And Grand Theft Auto is a perfect example of that. When the game is loading, it looks a lot more like your homepage slideshow than it does that mask you put up in front of things when people filter on your website. So if they filter like, oh, I want to look at things that are near to far, and I want to sort the website like that. Okay, wait, got the animated GIF and you max it and they're like, well, I can't click anywhere. I got to wait a long time. Don't do that to them. Let them have access. Front load it. So you give them this, they're called the 4 A's, okay? Actor, action, artifact, and atmosphere. And if you look at this Grand Theft Auto picture, you got the character there, he's the actor, the gun is the artifact, the atmosphere is this like, sunset atmosphere. But the point is to use that to your advantage, front load, and make it worth their while, okay? So try that, grab that slideshow off your homepage that's doing you absolutely no good, okay? Take that and put it in front load your website, okay? And then just put that call to action we talked about earlier on your homepage. Let's talk about theatrical trailer. We'll watch the movie, sit down, we'll watch the movie in a second. Okay, so let's first and foremost talk about like the product launch. You've got to build hype ASAP, okay? If you guys are working on a project right now and you haven't started your product launch or your feature launch or whatever, you haven't started that plan yet, stop what you're doing and do that first. Get the hype out there immediately, right? Okay, because as early as possible and as long as possible, you need to be building hype and marketing to your audience, okay? That's how you build awareness, and that's how you also gauge enthusiasm. So you gotta know if what you're bringing to market is even desirable. I know you guys did like some focus groups and stuff, but you brought beer, so of course they like it. So this is just a great example right here, what Lego did with the Star Wars game. And so before we get started there, I'm going to exit this. Yeah. Is there no sound? and I'll fast forward. You guys have seen this, but right there is really important, guys. The June 28th, 2016. Not only did they have the story out in front, right? They told you the whole story. It's a parody about the real Star Wars movie. It has Lego characters. It's going to be funny. It's not serious, okay? So they got the story out front. And every product launch, every feature launch, everything you change on your website has a story. Why are you doing it? What impact is it going to make? Share that story. Look at the gaming industry. They use video for that. Yeah, you could do a press release, but you're going to hear crickets, okay? And plus, it's fake. It's like buying likes, okay? Don't do a press release. And you can do a blog post if you have a million readers. That's great. Do a video. Do a YouTube ad. Get that up. Pay the $700 or the $5 on Fiverr for whoever's going to make your video. But get that done. And at the end, have the call to action. Pre-order now. Have them go to the webpage. Have them pre-order. This is how you build hype, and this is how you launch a product. It's really simple, and I think Lego did a great job of setting the example there. So you'll have that. So how do you implement Gamify? The point you've been waiting for, right? The first thing you need to do is on your team collectively have one-on-one meetings and talk to them about gamification, what we just covered, and you guys can do your own research too. How many of you have played games here? Nobody. Seriously? Just kidding. Yes, and if you haven't played games in a long time, you're more arcade guy, think back to that time, okay? Because it's still relevant. Board games are still relevant. They're still relevant, okay? I knew I got one. All right, so you can bring that to the table one-on-one and have them and tell them, hey, we're going to have a meeting next week, okay? And at that meeting, we're going to talk about a strategy for the website. And at that meeting, you're going to talk about loading, okay? Sound good? You like loading a lot, I know. You always complain about it. You're going to talk about it and how it can be more game-like. And then you get them on board. Now, it's not about you going to the presentation and telling everybody what to do. You have an advocate for you right there. He's going to be there, and he's going to argue your point, okay? And that brings me to the next thing, which is, you can guide the topic to some extent, all right? You can have these one-on-one meetings with the marketer, with the CEO, with the designer, and you could tell them your perspective and ask them what theirs is and get that topic to come up to the top like cream, okay? And then you're going to be able to have them be advocates for you. Set up the 20-minute meeting with them all, and then they'll each take turns pitching your idea to you. And it's a way more conductive meeting than if you were to just come try to boss them around. So hopefully you can turn the table. In summary, steal ideas from video games in the industry. We talked about multiplayer, role-playing settings, levels, action, arcade, tips and tricks, loading. You know what we talked about. But also request to be at the stakeholder meeting. And if they say no, set up your own meeting. That's it. So, achievement unlocked. Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter. So, thanks so much. Any questions? Yes?
What are some examples of websites that exemplify what you suggest?
Examples of websites, just so you guys can hear him. He's asking what examples of websites actually use and undertake some of what I've been mentioning. Like, for example, let's talk about the interactions and animations. I mentioned Google Material Design, right? Let's talk about the call to action being less frictional, okay? Tesla, now instead of buy now or order now, they're using next because they're going to progress you to finance or lease or what have you. And then let's talk about, there's a lot of websites that you could find on websites like awards.com, AWWW, awards.com. A lot of them use the theatrical trailer as their homepage. Okay, so there's a lot of good websites out there. Yes?
I got one for the whole gamification thing. Now it makes sense why Reddit is so huge. It's because they let anyone be a mod, anyone create their own subreddit. The whole gamification is, oh look, I have this much loot karma. It's not like I can do anything with it. It's just internet points. But
Yeah.
I feel good whenever I get 10 of them.
Okay, that's great. Reddit.
You suggested Starbucks as an example, Starbucks point system.
Perfect. Perfect example.
I didn't know if you had some in mind that meet your criteria or that are, maybe 7 out of your 10 points.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I can only come up with some on my mind. Like if you guys did visit applique.com, the website was the user experience and UI designer for, and you upload applique.com, APLIIQ.com. On there, you can design your own clothes, okay? And when you upload artwork to get it vectorized, you're gonna have to wait for a loading screen, and that loading screen is awesome, okay? Because we talked about loading, right? But here's another example. Let's talk about a blog, right? Like a famous blog, smashingmagazine.com. Everybody heard of Smashing Magazine? Okay? They have guest post bloggers on there. There's not one person blogging, there's not two people, they're not all in-house. They have guest people, okay? That's giving the reader the admin role right there. So they're out there, but you're gonna see more of them be like some of the cutting edge avant-garde of web design. That's why I also mentioned awards, because anybody who has anything avant-garde posts it on awards.com with 3 W's. Okay, any other questions? All right, okay guys, play some games. That's your assignment. Thanks.